everybody, and welcome to what I guess could be called a quick hit of attendance bias. Just kind of a short request from you, a short celebration, and then, of course, since it's attendance bias, there has to be music. So first, a little bit of gratitude, or a lot of gratitude, actually, to everybody. After flocking outside with Mohegan and Brian Brinkman, all three of us have gotten such positive feedback and so many messages of warmth, of gratitude, and of love about how much people enjoyed that 3-episode mini-series. Whether or not you're on board with Goose, it kind of was beside the point because a lot of people just enjoyed the exploration and the information that was provided, although a lot of people who are already on the Goose train really loved the music and the set lists, or at least the song choices, mostly provided by Brian. So thank you to everyone for taking a leap with me into the unknown and trying a different setup for attendance bias. You know, this podcast that has a pretty set structure, it was a little nerve-inducing for me to try something brand new, but with the support of my two co-hosts and with the support of all my listeners, I think I could be pretty comfortable in calling it a success. So thank you to every single person involved, and that includes every single listener. Next up, when I was scheduling the 3 episodes of Flocking Outside, I was looking ahead to this summer, and I realized that the 3rd year anniversary of attendance bias is coming up in August. As of August 6, 2023, there will be 3 years from the time that I published the first episode with Elisa Alashant from Fish Sirius Radio to now, and I just couldn't believe how quick the time has gone by. That's hours of listening to Fish, hours of talking about Fish, probably thousands and thousands of words of notes about Fish, and hopefully for some of you, many, many hours of listening. So in acknowledgement for this 3-year anniversary, I thought it would be fun for the guest and I to kind of switch seats. Now, I did this a while ago on the 1-year anniversary with Justin Bruce, a guest who's been on the show a number of times, and he kind of interviewed me, but this would be a little bit different. I would love questions from the audience, from anybody who has a question. So your question could be about me personally. It could be about my opinion on anything involving Fish or other music, or it could be about anything about the podcast. So if you have anything about the behind the scenes workings of the podcast, please feel free. Now, to get these questions in, I'd really like to have all of you on the podcast at some point. So if you do have a question, whether it's about me, my opinions about Fish or music, or about the podcast in general, here's how you can participate. And I would love it if everyone could try to get something in. The first thing I would ask you to do is record a voice memo on your phone or any other convenient recording device that you have. You could introduce yourself and ask your question. It could be, again, about the podcast, my Fish opinions, my life outside the podcast. Literally, ask me anything. The recording should be a minimum of 30 seconds and a maximum of 2 minutes. Once you're done with the recording, you can email it to attendancebias, one word, @gmail.com as an audio file. That could be an M4A, an MP3, pretty much anything that your device or your phone will save. So after you introduce yourself, you could say your hometown if you like. You could ask your question, send it to me, and I'll do my best to fit it into an Ask Me Anything episode of Attendance Bias. So thank you so much for participating and for listening. And like I said earlier, since this is Attendance Bias, I can't let an episode go by without some music. So for today, I thought I would include Fish's performance of Beneath a Sea of Stars Part 1 from July 9th, 2019 at Mohegan Sun. Rather than break down the whole song, I just wanted to remember, and the nostalgia, the attendance bias of it, is that this was virtually a perfect 2-night run. I didn't love every single bit of music, but this song, Beneath a Sea of Stars, Part 1, was played right in the middle of the second set, right in the middle chunk. It's the longest song of the whole show, and there was just this psychedelic portion right in the middle that took me to another world. I would be lying if I said that Dark Star didn't cross my mind. That's how into this I was. The Fish.net Jam Charts calls it an absolutely stunning piece of psychedelic music, almost akin to free jazz at times. This touches on nearly every mood imaginable in Fish's improvisation and a few not imaginable in Fish's improvisation. Exceptionally deep and must hear. So that's a much more eloquent way of saying this music really freaked me out and I enjoyed it so much. So if you haven't heard it, here it is, Beneath a Sea of Stars Part 1 from July 9th, 2019 at Mohegan Sun.
And the weather's fine. Dancing in a dream and we're free of time. The lights are flashing and the waves are crashing. Dancing in a dream beneath the sea of stars. The waves are crashing. Dancing in a dream beneath the sea of stars. The lights are flashing and the waves are crashing. Dancing in a dream beneath the sea of stars. Dancing in a dream and we're free of time. The lights are flashing and the waves are crashing. Dancing in a dream beneath the sea of stars. Dancing in a dream beneath the sea of stars. And we're free of time. And we're free of time. And we're free of time. And we're free of time.